Maybach music.
Well, wow. That's some difficult news to wake up to. And I did just wake up to it, like a few hours ago, because time difference. It's just 8:30 a.m. here. I woke up about 3 hours ago. I was like, wow. For a small channel like mine, and I do get a lot of Liverpool supporting here, which is unprecedented, and I absolutely appreciate it. Have nothing but respect for the Liverpool franchise, Liverpool as an institution. But this is mad. This caught everyone off guard. For someone who is in a certain type of profession like mine, and then when you have seen so much death, it makes you appreciate life on a whole nother level. And this is when it comes back all around full circle. And people always tell you to wait, be patient. We have time. No, we don't. We do not have time. We're on borrowed time. Diogo and his brother and his wife, they had plans this weekend and the next weekend and beyond. And those plans will never be fulfilled because we don't have time. You just never know. You just never know. So there are days when I don't even want to stream. Like, now I'll stream the next day and the next day. Now, go do it. Do it now. If you want to do it now. We do not have time. Borrowed time. What an absolute tragedy. What a baller, man. What a baller. What a gunman. That dude. I think I may have to go look up like his goals per minute ratio. Take his injury record aside and the amount of goals he scored versus the amount of minutes played has to be like one of the has to be up there in the high percentages. Because when he plays, he scores. He absolute scores. Big up to all the ones who tuned in early. Big up to AFC always. Football aside, this is tragic news with everyone connected to Jota and Silva. Rest in power. Life isn't promised. Make the most of it every day. Yeah, essentially. Essentially, the AFC just pretty much summed up, what I just ranted about in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, less than 10 words. You know, big up skills. We're gonna get into that skills. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you, but we will get into that. we Our club never learned is literally the title of yesterday's video that I did with Rashid. It's a mad one. Big up to Rich. Jump on in about 15 minutes or so. Okay, cool, man. We are here, Rich. Big up to the Don. That is E. Ross. Today's just one of them days, bro. But I did hit you with the the Maybach music, but still, it's just one of them days, isn't it? Lucas said he want to send his condolences to Jota that passed away, the family, man. There's a video floating around on TikTok with the car and fully engulfed in flames. I'm hearing it was a Lambo. It was a mad one. Those high performance cars, they operate at such high temperatures with the fuel that they burn, the high octane fuel, very, very susceptible to fire. Shocked, shock, shock, shock to their football rivalry. It has to. It has to. And we've never had beef with Liverpool, really, right? Because when we were in the late 90s, early 2000s, when we were good, Liverpool weren't it. And then when Liverpool and City started battling for it in the early days of Arteta and Emery in the late stages of Wenger, we weren't it. So when they were good, we were ass. When we were ass, they were good. It's only the past, you want to say 2 or 3 seasons that Liverpool and Arsenal have been good at the same time. And you know how our fan base is. A little bit of forced rivalry here and there. But today, like I said, I'm so grateful for the Liverpool fans who pop up in here on a daily basis. You know, they have won the title and they have, you know, moved with grace when they could have been crashing it on us. Yeah, bro. Big up Eros and big up Duran and crew. It's a tough loss for football. It is, man. It is a mad one. It is a mad one. Jota says 5'10", brilliant in the air, one of the best finishes in the Premier League. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, sometimes I see dude outleap some man. I'm like, be like, how? How? I don't even think. I remember. I'm trying to remember the game. I think it was against Brentford or Wolves or something. Dude came on as a sub in like the 78th minute, and his first touch was a goal. It was a header when he was out jumping, man. Yeah. You know, he scored his very first goal versus he opened his Liverpool goal scoring account against us in 2020, you know. I remember that's when, you know, Arsenal was just giving away presents that you're in a drought, Arsenal turn up, bang, man is opening their account against you. There were so many men who opened their scoring accounts in the Premier League against us. Even Anthony scored his very first goal, Premier League goal against Arsenal. Oh man, I just looked at the aftermath and the pictures from the crash. It's bad. Yeah, it looked unsurvivable without the fire. You know, it was unsurvivable. Okay, Rich. I'm gonna pin it in the chat. I am going to pin the link in the chat, my bro. Okay. I think I can, pin it. There you go, my bro. It is pinned in the chat. Let's gonna get through some of these comments real quick before I get into the football. Boy, said there's a thing left off the car. Yeah, it was like a plane crash, wasn't it? The link that I see on TikTok that's floating around, it's been an absolute mad one. E-Ross said, big up Taryn. You know, the people constantly getting into accidents every day. My condolences. This is very tough to get married and pay out, man. Yeah, there's so many layers. Big up to Mr. Battered, man. Hey, bro. Big up to you, man. Shattered Davis. I know you are, bro. Like, man, you are one of the realest Liverpool fans in these spaces. A big up to you, and just gutted to hear this news, man. But it's one of them ones, man. Like, Rich, how goes it, my brother?
How are you, my friend? Just doing some steps. I need to touch that 10K, as we all like to do.
How far off are you?
I went early, and now I've like kind of came back onto it. So I am 1 second, 8,300. So not too bad.
You got a little bit to go.
Yeah, my job's normally like 20K a time. So I need, while I'm off this week, I do need to keep getting steps in. So I came out earlier on, and I thought, right, BBK's live. I'm going to join him for the first time. Now I'm getting used to these lives, my brother. And everybody in the chat, big up. Very sad day for football. Very sad day.
Terrible, man. But yeah, man, it's one of them ones where you just like, do I really want to talk football? But then again, you think about it and you like, you know, it's life, isn't it? It's life, and it's a reminder that we're on borrowed time, and it's a reminder that you're you know, tomorrow's not promised. You know, we know these things.
This is it, mate. This is it. This is it. Like I seen it on the legend Shane Gooner. Like I looked on YouTube and it were there like R.I.P. Jota, and I'm thinking, so first thing you do straight away, as we always do, we go straight to Google, and it were just there. It literally there were no. I was like, oh my god, and obviously, it just makes you think today. Like, obviously, no rivals with Liverpool kind of thing. I've got a lot of Liverpool mates, etc. But it just makes you think rivalry stops today. Like with Liverpool, Man United, you know, Everton, Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Man United, Liverpool. It just don't happen today. And even today, if someone really expresses my feelings, why this club are just doing repeatedly same thing over and over again, making bad mistakes, I can't even be bothered really in my head to check what's happening with the transfer news today with our club. It's kind of put me away from it. It's like, it don't matter today. You know, if we sign Rodrigo today, I'll probably be like, perfect signing, but it doesn't matter today. Even Eze. And I want Eze probably more than anybody, I think. So it's just horrible, man. Like it makes you think. Always expect the unexpected in every single situation. It can be good, bad, sad, in any way. It's just heartbreaking. Like those children, his wife.
Yeah. You know what? Him as a footballer, like I've been looking at Sky Sports this morning, and it seems that I don't know very many footballers who are loved that much by both teams that they played for in the Premier League. I'm seeing there's love from the Wolves side. There's no he left us, this and that. But
they love him. Apparently, adored him. All players loved him as well.
Yeah, and it was like I even saw some Wolves fans this morning say they were hoping
Darren Martin,
when he finished with Liverpool, he would have came back to Wolves and finished his career. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Big up to you, bro. Big up to you, man. Hope you are well. But yeah, man, like, what did you make of his career as a footballer, though? Because I think
I'm not going to like the thing is with me, Darren, my friend. I'm not going to like if I don't know something. Sometimes I don't even like to look and check it on Google. I kind of think it's either vanished from my memory or I just didn't know it. Do you know what I mean? I like someone to say, yep, like other day I got something like Andre Berta. It was 2013 since he'd been at Atletico Madrid. And I think I said 17, 2017. And someone on Aaron Talk's channel told me. So with Jota, I didn't really know about him until he came to Wolves. Like that was the first time I seen him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I used to watch football leagues all over the world, like I've said a lot on my channels, etc. But he played for Porto, right? I think
he did.
Yeah, and I can't really remember him though. Sorry, I can't remember him, mate, at Porto. So I openly admit that. But at Wolves, they were like, this guy's got something, hasn't he? Like he's literally came from Premier League, and he's literally like he's on it. Like you look at him now and you think he's going different heights, and he's going to get a bigger club. And I've always said he's lethal. He's Liverpool's lethal weapon. If that guy could stay fit all season, my number, what I always say, what I want my striker to score, at least, he would touch 22 Premier League goals every season. Easily. If he could stay fit. And even coming off at bench, I think he would probably get 15 goals every season just coming off at bench if he could stay fit, because his finishing is just, it's brilliant. It's like he does not panic in front of goal. The body position, the way he opens up, he knows what to do all the time. If he has to side foot it, his body position's like ready. Do you know what I mean? Like some strikers you see, and they're through on goal, you think, all you have to do is just lean your shoulder to right or lean your shoulder to left, and you've gone direct, and then sometimes you're trying to side foot it. And there's no, like the keeper kind of thinks, well, just going to go straight that middle. Do you know what I mean? So, but he's one of them strikers, his instincts are just there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to bring myself up on you, but I used to play as a striker. I scored 79 goals in one season at Charleston Norwich City. So I do you know what I mean? This is why I'm always fixated on our front line, why I don't care about spending 5 million on Kepa, even though I didn't want him. But this is why I always say, I just want that front line sorted. And so I know when, like I say, a good striker, do you know what I mean? He's just been a brilliant player. He's never moaned. Jota's like our Martinelli in a way. He will never moan. You will never ever see him like moaning on that bench. Like we're not going to see Martinelli. Even if we keep Martinelli and he becomes a squad player next season, you're not going to see him moan. Do you know what I mean? You're just not. So that's the thing. I think it's a big loss. And I did say as well, me and Chris Welsh, big up to him as well, and subscribe if you already haven't. Same as BBK. I know you've subscribed to him. We were talking about this and saying how good Jota is, but it's the time where, like, you're like, he's got in Liverpool, and it's probably the wrong time.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be sold in summer. Do you know what I mean? Just because that guy's too good to be playing up bench, and he could be. I mean, he could play at Barcelona. It could be a bit of a. Not a start at Real Madrid, but you just see him. You'd want Jota I would take Jota at Arsenal tomorrow, providing we get a Grokeres or someone like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally would, because I'd be looking at him thinking, yep, he could even help Saka out. He could challenge Martin. He just looked at him and think, you could trust Jota across the front line everywhere, and he will always try and put a shift in. Do you know what I mean? So these players, Taran, my friend, like I say, it's just like you don't see them much, man. You really don't, and they're hard to come by. Do you know what I mean? When you get a player what doesn't moan, puts a shift in like an 8 out of 10, is brilliant at finishing. He's 5'10". He's great in the air. He's great at dribbling. It's just that talent's gone, man. You know what I mean? It's like he's a human being. He's got feelings. He's got emotions. He's got problems. You know what I mean? He's just a human as soon as he gets in that house. Do you know what I mean? And it's all gone. It's a sad, sad day.
Yeah.
Same as Reyes for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive miss for Liverpool and for Portugal.
It is.
Shot in for Portugal, because I remember in the 2021-2022 season, he scored 20 goals that season, going in and out the lineup, and had injuries.
This is what we've just been saying, my friend. He is that good, innit? This is what I'm saying, Darren. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. If you say to people, well, Jota's one of the best finishers in Premier League, fans are going to look at that and say, no, he's not, because all they're going to put it on is that he don't even play every game. That don't matter. If he is in front of goal, 9 times out of 10, he scores that goal. And this is what you've just been saying. He can even do that coming off at bench. You know, he's that good. He really is a fantastic finisher, great striker. And to be 5'10" and getting in that air, and I think it was against us when he made his debut. I'm thinking, how the hell did he? He scored debut. But even his leaps in air, I'm thinking, is he on he's on a spring or something? He's got a button inside his shorts where he's pressing it and just getting that eye. I'm thinking, what the hell is this all about? So straight away you're thinking, how tall is Diego Jota? Because I thought he's one of them players what looks about 5'10". He's probably about 6'3", but no, he's 5'10".
Yeah.
So great footballer, gone way too soon. Like I say again, same with Reyes, you know, and his brother obviously. Yeah. I mean, it's just a sad, horrible day. And like I said, I'm normally checking news about 10 times a day in Windows with Arsenal. And today I'm like, F you, Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't even do this right. You know, you're saying all this, that we're doing all these things right, and we're making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. It's like, we don't play a plan B. It costs us in games. We don't get to Wembley no more, so there's no buzz no more for fans. We're always challenging, but never get over the line. It's, you know, when we're selling players, it's slow. It's just slow when we're selling players. So when we're going to sell them, we either lose them on a free or off price. When we're trying to sign players, we dawdle. We just take ages. Next minute, we're panicking. Last 2 week transfer window. This club it's a shame, because I keep saying this as well. The only way this is going to change, Taron, and it's wishful thinking, my friend, and everybody in chat, you know, or everyone Arsenal, is if we get new owners now. It's gone stale. We need that extra spice, that extra kick, and we need new owners, and we need to bring them in, wipe the lot out, and give Andre Berta 1 year and say, look, we know what you're about. We know what you're going to do. Find us a great manager and take this club to where it belongs, because I can see this capitulating now, and Saliba just thinking, I ain't signing no deal this summer. I'm watching what this club do next season, and if it's looking like I predicted, we're going to lose 3 games out of the first 6. I think Man United will beat us away. Well, away for us. I think we'll draw to City, like it'll be on a rebound kind of game, even though I think Man City will win league. I think Newcastle will beat us if Isaac stays, etc., because Eddie Howe's got Arteta's number big time. And of course, I think Liverpool will beat us. So I just, like, I don't see how people can big this up. And we have done some good things under Arteta. We have. I know I don't want to keep blabbing on, you know what I mean? But we have. You know, he's got us challenging. We've got an absolute incredible defence, and it's stacked in every position. But why would you be wanting to take that risk of having all that and then literally saying, you know, we'll just keep messing around with midfield? Not fully stack it. No, 1 minute, like, we've got it all okay. Like, it would have been okay. We kept Partey and added Odegaard. Then you're thinking, Norgard. You're thinking, yes, Partey's world class for me. He's Arsenal's all-round best midfielder. I think that myself. We've got Declan Rice, who I think is an absolute baller on his day. You've got Zubamendi coming in, which not a massive fan of him. When I used to watch Real Services, it was Kubu who used to impress me most. Obviously, different positions. So then you think, yeah, that's not bad. And then you've got Moreno, who can be a floater or be a secret weapon, as I call him, going up front if he wants to. But then you're thinking Partey, Rice, Zubamendi, and we bring Alpha class, as I call them. We'd be Norgard, and that's decent. And then, like now, we go and do something what Arsenal do, the typical fashion. We're going to let Thomas Partey leave on a free. our best all-round midfielder. So it's like we're just going backwards all the time. So then we'll go and sort the attack out, probably get this left winger, get a prolific goal scorer, maybe a backup for Saka. I really hope we get Eze over the line, challenge Martin Odegaard, or get him out of the team because he was Arsenal's worst player last season and, to me, is the weakest captain in football. But then we'll leave the midfield, Tarrant. Do you know what I mean? It's like years ago we used to be title winners, double winners, invincibles, with an absolute world-class manager who changed English football, bringing nutrition into it, making the players take creatine. And then you would have all this world-class setup. You'd have all this world-class setup, and then you'd be able then in a position to add one or two, as I call them, half-a-class players, because we already had the Petits, the Vieiras, the Overmars, the English back guard, and they were like, look, this is how Arsenal is. We win. Overmars and Petit coming into the game for Arsenal, they would have been told, it's been drilled into them. This is what Arsenal do, win first. So we'd had those players, and we didn't know how good they were, obviously, before they come from Ajax, Monaco, Vieira from AC Milan. But then we built a world-class team, my friend, and we only needed to add half a class, like Kabadiawara, Luis Boamorte, Christopher Wray, because we were that good with the team we already had. They made it a tiny little bit better, but we were already that good. Now, we've got a decent team. Yeah, Rice, world-class in his day. Saka, world-class in his day. Gabriel Saliba, to me, on the day, they are the best centre-back period in the world. But that's it. We haven't got a world-class team, and now we're adding half a class. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, so we're trying to do something. We are missing the point. We get a decent team, and we're adding half a class, like Zubamendi, Norgard, when we're not even there yet. But yet we used to be there. We're titles backing it up. FA Cup's backing it up, Invincibles with a world-class manager. And we just added like Richard Wright, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Francis Jeffers when he was Foxing Boxing Premier League at that time, because we could do that. But now we're adding players what are half a class when we're not even world-class all over the pitch. So it's kind of like, what are we doing? And this is where I think it's going to capitulate, my friend. And people in chat, I don't know if you agree. I think Florentino Perez, if he calls Saliba this month, and they get an injury or something to Huijsen, or Asensio, their new centre-back, I think, at back, which is very rash, by the way. He jumps in and he's picking red cards up already, young guy. We know Militao, ACL, big up. I hope that's getting better for you as well, personally.
Yeah, it's getting better.
If they think we've got a big injury again, Florentino Perez apparently adores Saliba. He sees him as a future defender, and it looks like now he's going that way. He knows Rudiger's probably going to leave maybe next season, let's say. So I just, with this club, it's just annoying because when you hear those speeches from Arteta end of season, and you just think, you're lying. You are lying. You are lying.
Rich Eros has a question for you. Say, would you rather see Rice in the 6 or the 8? I got it on the screen because it's a very interesting question,
Now this is interesting, and I might be able to. When I say this, you might be like, "Wow, as I don't know what it is. If again, I play football from 7 till 14, etc. I don't know why we have to complicate football so much. Like invert a 6 or an 8. I agree with everybody, and I think it's when you glamorize it, and I think it's brilliant. But
you're from the age where it's like you're a central midfielder.
And I'm not. And, I'm 38. You know what I mean? But I still love footballers. 1 goalkeeper, left back, right back, 2 centre backs, 2 holding midfielders, left winger, right winger, left wing, right wing, 2 centre midfielders, 2 strikers, 4 strikers, or maybe at least 3 strikers on your bench. I'm sorry, I can't really answer because Brian Clough, the legend, he used to just say it basically. You know that bloke in stood between them sticks, lad. He says that stops ball going in. You know them defenders in front of him, they stop that ball going to him. And you know them people in front of him, in front of defenders, they stop that ball going to defenders. He says, you know that bloke up top, he puts ball in net, lad. And that's and I'm sorry, Eros, I'd love to answer it, but all I see Declan Rice is give him freedom. Give him freedom, but also let him know where his position is because he's very, very good. He wants the ball. He's very good on the ball. He's very good at passing. He looks to shoot. Hopefully, it can happen a lot more. He's a baller. He's got an engine on him. He's so athletic. He literally will give everything for Arsenal Football Club. But again, as I keep saying, teams are going to look at that and think he's not winning nothing again. We're going for him because players want to win trophies, man. This is what it all boils down to. At the end of the day, they want to look on the CV and say, "I won that. I won that." It's, you know, people say, "Oh, Van Persie went to my," because he wanted to win trophies. You know, it's. I don't do that neither. Like, oh, you know, we're actually calling everything and that. They've done what they needed to do. Like this thing with Trent, with Liverpool. Man, he's a legend at Liverpool. He's done everything he can. He's won Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao, Champions. He wants to go and play in Spain. He wants to go and play with him. You know, it's like I can say, played at my boyhood club, won everything I can, play with great players, great manager, adore the fan base, and now I'm in Spain. We want to, you know, with Real Madrid. It's like, this is it. It's just football seems to be too complicated. So with Declan Rice, to me, I just feel I can't even say he's a defensive midfielder or attacking midfielder because I think Declan Rice has got the lot in snippets, I would say, in a way. But I prefer him to be balanced. I would be confident Declan Rice being the policeman, it was how I call him sometimes, the collector. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want him being too, you know, gun-ho, like rash going forward too much because I know I could trust Declan Rice tackling. Do you know what I mean? I could trust him. I could trust him being like that holding man in a way. Now, it's a massive shame Thomas Partey's gone. Taran, I don't know what you think about that, my friend. I mean...
I'm gutted, bro. I'm gutted.
I am absolutely gutted.
Yeah, I know.
He said it as well, didn't he? Yep,
I think essentially just made our team weaker, or we should be strengthened.
100%, 100%.
And I would have been fine with the Zubimendi signing. He comes and goes. I'm indifferent, but
this is what I'm saying. You have Zubimendi, Rice, Partey, and then bring Norgard in, which is half decent. He's not rubbish, you know what I mean? And then you look at Arsenal's midfield thinking, Partey, Rice, Zubimendi, and then Norgard, who's half a class as I call him. That's quite decent, you know what I mean? Because those three will take care of it, and Norgard will just probably do his job. You know what I mean? He might be, you know, like a bit of a Flamini, you know, just do his job. But now we've let our best all-round midfielder go. See, it's hard to see comments right now. I know I could just see him.
And for me at the end. But the thing is, Rich, you said you prefer Declan to have freedom. Well, in modern day football or in the Arteta system, freedom for a midfielder is more of an 8 or a 10. Your 6 is supposed to sit and hold. And I've seen if we have to, our defense is solid. I rate our defense. And you put a player with Declan Rice quality in front of our defense, I think we're calm there, and we would free up our wingers to not have it back. So
that's it. You
know, our wingers are in our own half most of the time. So when we do get the ball,
this is it. They get pulled back. They're on strings.
Oh but that's the thing about Declan. He is so versatile that he
balanced.
Can play and it causes confusion.
Yes, my friend. And he gives all, Taran. You know what I mean? He will, like, even if we're 3-0 up, he wants that ball and wants to prove that this shirt means everything when he's playing. And Partey, like say, Partey's just one of them what looks like he don't get out of he don't even touch second gear. Do you know what I mean? And he's just calm, balanced, his body movement's perfect. Like he's one of them where there was a game, I can't remember why, I always use this as an example. Someone passed to him and he was stood there, he just let it go through his legs because he just knew Odegaard were ready behind him. He's so intelligent as a footballer. And it's a massive shame because how can you be moving forward as a club like when you're literally going to let your best all-round midfielder go? And one of the players who played out of the 5, I think, in our club last season, he was one of out of 5 who played 30 matches in all competitions, I think it was. And I don't like him at right back. Shane Gouda, hello, my friend. How are you, pal? Sad day. Sad day. I seen it, Shane. You were the first person I seen when I seen the news, my friend. Hope you're well. How can you? Like, I don't like him at right back, but you could trust him. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy is Thomas Partey is brilliant, and if he had, say, 1.5 years even on his contract left, he's worth 50 million, man. That guy is worth 50 million in this day and age football. And if Saudis wanted him that bad, you know, they would have even probably pushed for about 50 million. So, you know, I'll just sort of just jump on, you know, and I know obviously it's your show, but just thought I'd just share a few views. And with these transfers, what we're linked to and that, I mean, it's a shame because you hear all these deals, what might be potentially getting close, and yet the only one I say is Eze. I shouldn't be saying that as an Arsenal fan. I'd be like, yeah, look at Man City, Cherky, Reinders, you know, Nico Gonzalez in January, Marmouche, who signed in January, who wasn't meant to be signed until the summer. Ask what City fans if they're like, yeah, we're happy for this. We're happy for this. You know what I mean? And it's like, most Arsenal fans are like, Zubamendi, okay, yeah, decent. Norgard, no, not really bothered. Mosquera at Valencia, big unit. I've seen him a few times. I used to watch all football. It could be a decent backup for Gabriel and Saliba. But then again, I just look at that and think, Saliba's going. Not maybe. If there's a call from Perez this summer, it's gone. He will. I think he will turn around and say, and it'll be a shock news. He wants to leave Arsenal. But
yeah,
and he's my favorite player. He's my favorite player.
So this Club World Cup is going on here, right? And I remember the very first Madrid game. Madrid's first game, they drew 1-1, I think, with a Saudi team. And there was a shot during the game, a camera shot, where the camera panned to Florentino Perez in the owner's box, and they showed him, and then the crowd saw him on the jumbotron, and the crowd erupted. Rich, the crowd went crazy. Yeah. And I just thought to myself, had that been Arsenal, had that been Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, and the camera panned to him, I'd be very interested in his reaction. Well, one, would they even know who he is? And two, would they cheer or boo him?
No.
You know, but that,
or even Tim Lewis or someone like that. They wouldn't have had a clue.
And I was like, that's the level that I hope I see
the
football club get to one day. And
it's same as well, Taron. If Khalidun Muldoon, I think his name is, Barak, Man City's chairman, CAO / they buzz off him. They love him. Do you know what I mean? Like that 2-part interview on YouTube was absolutely brilliant. When he was asked, can't remember the specific words, but he said, the interviewer said, we're Man City winning all these trophies, that's part of the history, etc. And he were like, yeah, that is part of the history, but next season's part of our future. And I was like, oh my God, like literally thinking that's what you call winning mentality and ambition, as if to say, that's done. We go again. We're building right now. And he said, I guarantee it will not happen again. What happened last season, no chance. And he could see how annoyed he was, like say Marmouche should have been signed in summer. They brought that forward. And I think they will with league. I know we've seen him in Club World Cup, but I will say this about Man City. Rodri's not up to fitness yet. He's stacked in midfield, but they do now not have one world-class centre-back. They haven't got a Diaz, what was world-class. He's not world-class no more. And I think, and I've said this before, and it's crazy, do not even be surprised if Pep thinks, I want the best. Because I think Enrique is going to be Man City's next manager. And obviously he'll set him up. He'll set him up, which I don't want that to happen. And I think you might even look at Saliba, see what his situation's going like, and get people, in the hierarchy just to ask and see if he's willing to sign a new deal. Because next season, Saliba now, you would get 100 million for him, but next season that's going to drop to 70, probably 60, because he'll have 1 year left on his contract. So I believe Man City are stacked everywhere, but they haven't got that world-class centre-back no more. They're very vulnerable. Like Ake's always injured. John Stones, he can be a baller, but he's always injured. Diaz is not world-class no more. Garvidal's probably the best centre-back, but he's actually a left-back. You know what I mean? You just don't know where he's going to play. And he's a goal scorer. He's always forward-thinking. So, and then again, you got to replace Kyle Walker as right-back, which I think Man City are not done yet. I think they'll go for that Cambiasso from Juventus right-back, who they're looking at in January. I haven't seen much on him, but I watched clips and he's probably the best bet, because I think the way they move, they make sure they've got the best of the best. So on that one, I do think Man City are going to win league. Liverpool second, and this is crazy, but I've picked Chelsea for third. Reason why I say that?
That's crazy. That's not crazy at all. That's crazy.
I know. Because of what they've got up front, Taron, it's becoming ridiculous, man. Like I'm even forgetting, like, Cole Palmer's still there. Obviously, if he revitalises his career, that can be a problem. The only thing is with Chelsea, similar to Man City, they do not have one world-class centre-back. Literally haven't even last season. They need probably 100 million spending on one defender, I think. Fofana, kind of like same areas with Saliba at St. Etienne. But he's had a massive injury, obviously at Leicester. But the midfield stacked, they've got good midfielders, and then the attacking prowess is ridiculous.
And that's why I don't think it's crazy that you said it, because their midfield is stacked. They've added to it, and we made our midfield weaker.
We have.
You know,
We have.
so this is our
Yeah.
concern. But before you get out of here, man, I want to ask you. You said you think
Yeah. Yeah.
we lose 3 of our first 6. You said I'm not sure. Was it 3 of our first 6?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think he survives that? Because that's a slow start. Because I think Liverpool and City are going to come out strong, and we have proven that we can't chase anyone down. So if we start,
this is it. Yeah. Yeah.
So you think he survives that?
Personally, I want him gone like yesterday, literally ASAP, like most of people do. I just can't imagine them sacking Arteta because they'll say, first thing he'll do, they've got all these, you know, these Arteta fans what just love everything it just does, wants to say, same as the club. So they will glamorize it straight away. Everybody, you know, we've got a tricky run in. And some people from Arsenal Football Club do see these posts, you know what I mean? They'll be like, Mikel, we've had a little look, you know what I mean? I don't know what the words are going to be. We've had a little look. The fans are still with you. We've had a bad start. We've had a very tough fixture list. Let's just keep going. I think that's how this club move. Not like thinking, this is not good enough. Those fans out there want this club back to where it used to be. And I believe Mikel Arteta, majority of times, does everything to benefit himself rather than Arsenal Football Club. And this is why, if they lose first 3, you would chop. You'd just say, right, we're not even going into this. Not even. It's like we're not even going to training. We're not even walking into that water. We've dipped our toes in. We've seen it's too deep or whatever. Let's just step back. Let's just call this a day. Get him out. And even in this summer, I'm hoping that he has a fallout with Andre Berta, and Berta looks at him and thinks, I've come here for this, to be controlled by someone younger than me who's never been a manager in football, who was an apprentice basically at Man City and applying his trade with us. And I'm going to be told how to do business, you know, how to conduct myself when it comes to being a businessman, like getting deals over the line and that. And he's questioning my intelligence with talent I'm looking at. Do you know what I mean? Because he's been in Spain for years. And he's, you know, he'd have contacts probably in Italy. And I just think something like that might happen. I hope it does, for me personally, to get him out. But then obviously for the benefit of Arsenal Football Club, you don't want that happening, because if we end up with no director again, we could have a repeat of 0 activity in January. But if he loses those first 3, the fans are booing at Emirates. They're going to be booing. There's going to be so many more people, Tara, my friend, what a turn and say, look, I mean, there's a guy at my work, you know, typical, I don't even know who Tony Adams is, you know what I mean, which is just embarrassing. But like now, I left it all year, and I asked him about a month ago, and I said, so then, I want to ask you a question. Just be honest. If you say anything like you used to, whatever. Has the time come for Arteta to go? And he's like, oh, you know, he's Nigerian. I don't know, you know, it's just not good enough. Says, do you think he's got to be sacked? He took us as far as he could. He just would not even like communicate. No. You're talking. You can't be negative. All this and all that. And now he's basically saying he thinks he's took us as far as he could. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. If he loses those first 3, I mean, surely people have got to realise, surely, that this is not going anywhere. You know, Hansi Flick turns up at Barcelona first season, young squad, even playing a Cabrassi as a centre back, young guy, I think 17. Loads of injuries as usual, especially to Frankie de Jong, who's always injured. And they go and win the treble, Taran, man. They win the treble. And they're up against Real Madrid with Mbappe. You know what I mean? And they nearly win Champions League.
You know who else went to Barcelona in their first try with limited experience and won the league? Xavi. Xavi went to Barcelona.
Yeah, and what did he go and do? My hands are up. I failed. I've done what I need to do. Thank you, guys. Got you back to winning the La Liga. I'm gone. That's the sign of a true man. And it's Conte, got Lukaku, Billy Gilmore, Scott McTominay at Napoli team. Conte rocks up at Napoli first season with last time them winning the league. They had Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen, and it might have been, is it Politano? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that's the last time they won the league. He turns up this season. He ain't got none of them, and they're going to win league. Do you know what I mean? It's like
proper manager.
Yeah, man.
So when people defend Arteta to the hills, I usually use the Napoli example. It's a perfect example. One, because the players that he lost and what he's operating with, and because it's recent, because they don't have a deep memory, so it's recent. It's in the now, and I said, okay, well, if the managing and the coaching does that matter, explain to me how Conte can win the league with Inter, hop ship, loses his 2 best attackers, bring in Premier League
Yeah.
region like Anguissa and McTominay,
Apparently, Lukaku's washed up. That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
and wins the league.
And
So, and then they
this is
can't
it, my
explain
friend.
They
Yeah,
can't.
and also, no, Taron. I was going to say something. I think I forgot now. Arsenal smashed Chelsea at Emirates 3-0. Conte post-match interview, fuming.
Mhm.
No, this doesn't happen no longer. Like, I can't remember specific words. You know what I mean? But they were like, "It's my way." Basically, it said in interview, "It's my way now. I
In
take charge."
2017.
Next minute,
Yeah.
3 at back, doesn't win the league
Yeah.
because
With
he's willing
Moses
to adapt and change. And this is why I say,
Moses
Thomas,
and Alonso and them.
yeah, like I even, and people say it's probably crazy for this, but Thomas Frank would have won Arsenal the league in these last 3 years where we've been challenging, because he would have done games, he'd been in games and think, I need to tweak that. I need to play 2 up front or cause problems in the last 20 minutes. We need to go long, you know, we need to just literally suffocate them. We don't see anything from Arteta. And just before I go, and everyone, thank you in chat, big up to everyone, and especially Taron, make sure you keep subscribing to him and smash up the likes.
Big up, man.
It proved another point. We obviously Nuno, when he said to Martin Keown, he basically just owned Martin Keown and made him look daft. Well, Arsenal don't have a striker. What do I need to change for? And then Enrique, in our second game, obviously in the second leg, literally as if to say, what problem are we getting from Arsenal, from Mikel Arteta? He's doing nothing. He's not changing it. He's not hitting it long. He's not suffocating us. He's not pushing 2 up front. He's not giving us any different headache. You know what I'll do? I'll bring Ramos on, who hardly gets a game for PSG since coming from Benfica. That's how he was literally saying, this is easy, my friend. This is easy. I am adapting. I'm coping. You're not giving me any headache. This is all under control. And he brings Ramos on, you know? Like, who's done nothing hardly since leaving from Benfica, which I think now he's going to be into his 3rd season at PSG.
Man.
And it just shown, man. It just shown that, like, this guy's been sussed out. It's proven now that he is just apprentice, that he's took a step too big. He's never had to go to an owners and say, we need this, we need that. Do you know what I mean? I've got a problem. We need a desperate sign. He's never had to do that. And then he lands up at Arsenal, a huge, huge football club, which is just unacceptable. Very unacceptable.
Absolute madness. But yeah, man, big up to you for coming on, Rich. So, before you go, man, can you remind the people of how many goals you said you scored in 1 year?
Well, let me just, I don't want to glamorize it too much. I was a top scorer for my team and in the league every season, but I did it 79 goals once I was 10-year-old. 10. Woo. And I still have the football boots to prove it. The white Umbro with blue laces. I'll never, ever get rid of them. Ever.
Hey, I don't mean to toot your own horn, but toot toot.
Thank you, mate. Well, that's what I say. I was just a good striker. I was just a good fox in box. I was just lethal. I would just, and that's how it used to be. Not the strongest, not Toro, but yeah, anything in box for a goal if it come near me.
I hear it, man. Big up to you, Rich.
So, thank you very much for letting me join and all, BBK, Tan. And like I say, I'm just working on getting my own space a little bit more. I've started it in the lives now personally, doing them on my own, which obviously you know. I'm live tonight at 10 p.m. Just again talking. It's great to see people from all over the world and all other clubs joining chats. I love it, communicating. So yeah, I'm just working on my own space. I still work nights. I'm off this week, and I'm getting a laptop, etc. So I'm just getting into it. But I just, I'm doing better than what it was a month ago, where I just couldn't even get live. Now I'm using StreamYard. So thank you very much for having me, my friend, and big up to everybody in the chat.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Cheers, my friend. Thank you, chat. Big up, everybody. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Rich 99. Rich talks football. What a passionate Arsenal fan, what a passionate Arsenal fan. Man. I just love it. Absolutely love it. Speaks with vim, speak with vigor. Now, Boy 10, I had to start a lot of comments from Boy 10 because Boy 10 been dropping some bombs in the chat, Boy 10 dropped. Man. So we also need to consider that Chelsea will let us run the Karma Plan scheme. Yeah, that's probably why we're all being linked with all these men, because we don't want to put the money up front, right? I'm sure Real Madrid ain't doing this payment plan shit. If we go to Real Madrid with this payment plan bullshit, they're gonna be like, okay, run us Saliba. It's pretty likely that we're getting Madueke, bro. That's just how we had. So it's getting legs, and I've learned my lesson from the Chelsea links, from the final nail in the coffin was in 2023 when we were linked with Kai, and I just kind of summarily just dismissed it, just brushed it off like, whatever, man. We're not that stupid. We are not doing that. We are not getting Kai Havertz, another washed up, out of form Chelsea player. And 2 weeks later, he was holding up the shirt. 2 weeks later, he was holding up the shirt. So, I know better now. So I'm not dismissing this night away. I fully believe that we are alert. I do not want to trust another Chelsea player for fuck's sake. Says skills. Yeah, no one wants this. Like, who wants this? Like, is there a section of the fan base that's calling for this? And it better not be the ones that are on YouTube, because we have receipts of them, man, on all the big channels, on the Terrace, on the Never a Fouls. They were shitting on Madueke last year on how he was trash, and the only thing he did good last year when he scored a hat trick against Wolves, and the rest of the season he was just a dud. And all of a sudden he's been linked with us, and because it's an Arteta thing, we're going to glamorize it. No. We're not doing that. We cannot do that. Keep the same energy. If you were shit last year, you shit this year. Go to Chelsea with 120, 150 million and say we want Cole Palmer, or say we want Caicedo, and see if they'll sell them to us. No. They will tell us to fuck off, because they actually value those players. Even Enzo, they wouldn't sell to us, even though they paid a record amount of money for him. And this is the only time we can turn a profit. No, because they value him. They didn't value Kai Havertz. They don't value Nkunku. They don't value Jackson. They don't value Madueke. So when I was asked weeks ago, what do I think of the Delap to Chelsea signing? I said, I think Delap is a fantastic signing. I think they have made a decision on Jackson, and they're signing the Delap to be a backup to the next striker that they're going to sign. Now, I didn't think that striker was going to be João Pedro. I thought it was going to be Gyökeres or Osimhen after we went and got Sesko. But Chelsea have signed two strikers. Chelsea had two strikers on their books. They had Jackson and they had Guy, whatever, the Spanish kid. And they've added two more while we are here still exploring our options. When we were told it's been done. It's a madness. Like, don't these men get tired of being lied to? This was funny. This might be the what there said. Rich doesn't want to blab on, but we became very happy for the free content. XD. Yeah, he was on a roll there, man. I had to let him. Sometimes when you get in the groove of it, you just have to let him get in the groove of it. Rich, apart from getting his steps in, one of the things why you do when you go for a walk, you have a lot of stuff that you want to get on your chest. It's thinking time. You think of a lot of stuff when you're walking and you're undisturbed. When your missus ain't bothering you, and the job, nothing in your mind is free and clear to think. You get a lot of profound thoughts that you might want to get off your chest. We're gonna be left short either in the attack of the midfield. Same old season, same old. AFTB will be talking about Calafiori playing striker again in January. The Copium, they should start calling AFTV just like Copium University, because the Copium that them men come up with, like they're coming up with the excuses before the problems. It's like they have a whole bucket full, and whenever the problem arises, they just dip in the bucket, pull out an excuse, and see if it fits what the narrative that they need to run versus this problem. Because I'm telling you now, people, when the window closes, before the window closes, the hell with that. On June 1st or beginning of June, they said it's only June 1st. It's the beginning of June. Calm down. July 1st, you're going to see things start happening. Well, July 1st came and we announced Kepa, a goalkeeper. But we need strikers and we need goals. Only thing we've announced was a goalkeeper. Now, August 1st is going to be coming around. We're still going to have our site set on, monitoring, exploring the options, front runner to sign, and all this shit on August 1st. And then that August 1st is going to come, and August 1st is going to pass. And then they're going to say, the season doesn't start for another 2 weeks. That's what they're going to say. Just relax. The season doesn't start for another 2 weeks. Then the season's going to start. And September 1st is going to come. So we went from June 1st, July 1st, August 1st, September 1st, the window shuts. Then they're going to tell us, shut up, the squad is the squad. We got to play the games with the squad that we have. That's what's going to happen. I'm fine with Partey leaving. The detail for me is that we got a DM and didn't need in Nogard, and Arteta is reluctant to sign creative mids. I'm not fine with Partey leaving at all. I'm going to be honest. Matter of fact, I think Old Trafford away, even if we sign Zubimendi, Old Trafford away, Thomas Partey should be our starting six in that game. because that's a hell of a fire to throw Zubimendi in, and he has to hit the ground running. He has no adapting time, which makes me scratch my head that he's not on ground already training. Because this is the Premier League, bro. The most physical league in the world is what we tell all the other leagues. All that techie stuff that you do in Spain, you won't have time on the ball to do all that. So, bro, you know, I think Saliba moves for 40 million, 45 max if he leaves this time this year. So, well, if that's the case, sell him now. That is criminal. If that's what we're going to get for Saliba, one of the best center backs in the world, having the best defense in the Premier League 2 years running, and not winning any trophies, we don't have any tangible silverware, we better get some money. So sell him now if that's what we're going to get, because we cannot replace him with that. Because I don't trust our scouting. I do not trust our scouting to replace Saliba with 45 million. Oh, man. E-Ross say cap for Arteta just like your hat, Rich Facts making excuses. Big up to E-Ross every time, man. Big up to E-Ross every time. And you know what? Big up to Mr. Barrett again. E-Ross, Newcastle, I'm baffled by their lack of success in the market so far. Not even Yao Pedro over the line or Elanga. They'll struggle with multiple competitions, no income. So, Mr. Barrett, the thing with the Liverpool, not the Liverpool, the Newcastle, the João Pedro to Newcastle. I don't think João Pedro goes there because of Isak. And I told the Jordy Dread this last week on his a few days ago on a stream on Jordy Dread TV. Respects. I said the fact that you have Isak is actually hurting in the striker market. Because João Pedro fancies himself against that. He fancies himself against Jackson. He know he's better than them. When I've seen João Pedro play, he primarily plays as a striker, not wide left, not wide right. He plays as a striker, but right when he plays, when I see him play. So he is a number 9. And then he looked and he sees Isak there. He knows he's not beating that guy. This is the same reason why Julian Alvarez left Man City. Not because he's not a great player, not because he doesn't love Man City and not want to win, but because he knows he's not going to get the playing time that he wants playing behind Haaland, especially in the World Cup year. And he's a winner. The boy is a winner. Like, this season is the first season that in his entire career he's not won a trophy for club or country. In Julian Alvarez. So the João Pedro one I can understand. The Elanga one, that one is concerning. If I'm a Newcastle fan, that actually concerns me. Big up to the Waffle Don. Big up to my bro Abs. Smash the likes, he said. Appreciate you, bro. Hope you are good. Big up to the Assemble. Said Blunder Man let Heaven go to United for free. He wanted 30K a week. He is now in United's first team squad getting starts. We would have been perfect replacement for Saliba with the experience in learning from him. That's a great point. That is a great point. I think I watched Heaven over the course of the preseason last year, and he wasn't great. He was poor in the preseason, but that's understandable. He's a kid. He is a kid. Matter of fact, in the game against United, he got pocketed by Haaland. And we know how shit Højlund's been. So the kid, yeah, he is raw. He's very raw and needed to develop. I hear that. But the angle that United used to pry Heaven away from us is the same angle we should use to pry, players that we need from other clubs. The Ezes and the Rodriguez of the world. You're not going to play. You're better than these guys. You have minutes at the Arsenal in a World Cup year. And you are right there in the mix to win a Premier League title if you add to our attack. BX Gunner, bigging up E. Ross. When the stream started, it was kind of in a somber mood because I had to pay homage to Jota. Yeah, had to pay homage to Jota, but we still have to give E. Ross, his E. Ross love in the building.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover. Maybach music.
We have to give E. Ross his love because he is E. Ross. He is the man of the hour every hour whenever he's in the stream. So big up to E. Ross. Big up to him every single time. Where was I at? Arteta is not the savior; he's the antichrist. You know, I actually sometimes I ask myself, is damn Arteta an agent sent to destroy the club? Because you know, an agent he can't destroy the club from outside. You know, you want to bring down an organization, you have to do it from within. So he has infiltrated the club. He's like termites, and he's just, you know, just eating away at the foundation subtly and very nonchalant, and he's doing it in a way that covers his tracks. Then when he leaves, oh my God, we might be in such bad shape that no one will be able to save us. Mr. Batter, you could be right, says E. Ross. Surprised they haven't done any business, especially Isak rumors, but we will see. I'm sorry, Elanga. What did Forrest want him 60 plus? I would have walked away. Yeah, Forrest got hit with PSR improprieties not too long ago. They actually got deducted points. I think it was the 2020. The season they came up when they had signed like 1 billion players. I think it was Steve Cooper was the manager at the time. They signed 1 billion players and got hit with a point deduction. In the following season, Everton, the same thing. They got hit with PSR improprieties. And they were signing all these men when they had Carlo there for the 2 weeks. And they were signing all these players. So all the men been hit by PSR and FFP and all this other stuff. Everyone but Man City. You know, like people feel like the 115 have been drugged out further than the damn Diddy case. People forget that these men are under investigation, you know. And I think City feels like they have a transfer ban looming. A transfer ban is imminent. That's why they're stockpiling players. I do believe that when the ban comes, they're set for the next 2 or 3 seasons. Arteta will invert Rich in the left back if Arsenal signed him. Yeah, so there's no more need for Hato. No more need for Hato. Bring Rich to the carpet. Man, Rich 79 goals, he said, and has the cleats still to prove it. Mr. Batt said, E. Ross, yeah, Forest rejected 45 mil for Newcastle. From Newcastle for Elanga, they wanted close to the 60 million, not worth it, but better options in the league. Is Elanga, is he, I know he's Mandan, but is he British or is he English? Like Madueke? Let me see. Elanga. Oh, he's Sweden international. So it's not, I can't even add, the British tax to it for the quota. So yeah, Forrest is on a madness. He's on a madness. Boyten Bamba. Nkunku as well. Yep. Nkunku and Clunky. You know how many balloons were stuck in man's socks over the course of this season? How many unblown balloons did he have to take out of his socks and throw in the bin? Because he didn't score. No more Chelsea, man. The Arsenal. It's the Batter out here playing games, but it's no facts. To be honest, sad part of the links are there. Yeah, the Nkunku links were there like months ago. I did a stream with Waffle Don on the Nkunku links. He was the first one linked when he wasn't getting his playing time, out of form. I think man just go to Chelsea because they know Chelsea are going to be stacked. And then they realize the grass ain't green, and then be like, oh shit, well, I love London. I'm established in London. I don't want to leave London. But I want to play ball in London, want to get paid, and possibly play Champions League. Oh, there's Arsenal, right? The Willian, the David Luiz, the Petr Cechs, Jorginhos. It's like, man, it's a convenient stop. It's a convenient stop. It has nothing to do with pure football. As Matt would say, hope dealers. I had dealing blue pills marked hope. It's a Frank Lucas sentence. I think Liverpool will keep Nunes now. Ooh. Yeah, there's something there. There's something there. But Liverpool will move. Right? This strategy will force them to do something. Now, if that something is a keep Nunes, fair enough. Or, the pulse of the fan base, they're very together right now. The Liverpool fan base are very together, very in sync, in tune with one another. They could essentially go make the splash Dare I say Isak? Dare I say Liverpool will pacify their fan base and move ruthlessly in the wake of the tragedy, the tragedy, and be like, you know what? We had Jota, we had Nunez. We can wait a year for Isak. Well, now we don't have Diogo Jota, unfortunately. God rest his soul. And we don't want Nunez. So let's sell Nunez. Even include him in the deal. We sell him to Newcastle and give him 60 million. And Newcastle might force to think about it. Hope dealers, facts. Yep. Hope dealers, man, out here injecting hope into the fan base. Mr. Batter said the assembled remains to be seen. I think Diaz stays now. Chiesa and Nunez are advanced or ready to leave, but no idea now. Massive hole in the fortunate events. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But this strategy will force Liverpool to make a decision either way. The way Liverpool are moving, I think their fans trust that they will do the right thing by the fan base. Bournemouth have two very good striking in Evan Nielsen and Kluivert, and they hold on to them. I think they hold on to Evan Nielsen, maybe Kluivert. I think Evan Nielsen just got there last year. He was in Porto. I think he was in Porto the year we played him in the Champions League round of 16 because Mr. Beckett won Isak at Liverpool. Yeah. Yep, it's the Isak to Liverpool just grew another leg. Blunderman like to bring the team back from a deficit to show a slow start build up to a crescendo of winning trophies. Has worked in 6 years. Hasn't worked in 6 years, but it will this year. Yeah, there go the link to the Waffle Down. Hasn't worked in 6 years. Yeah, man, you had to give Eros his due, man. Had to, man. Just apologies for the slow start to the show because you know that news, man. It was just a buzz killer, you know. Wake up to a man just losing his life, his brother, and all this. I'd be saddened if I hear the news about any one of us. You know what I mean? Anyone in the community, I'll be gutted to hear news like that. I know the Liverpool fans. I know Mr. Batter is feeling really bad about this because, coming off the back of a Premier League title when the team and the squad and the fan base are so well connected. Yeah, feel your pain, my brother. Big up to you, man. Big up to you, Eva. Yeah, he's Swedish. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know where they pulling 60 million from, but they need to go ahead with that. Mr. Batter, 100% going to be an interesting window until it ends, other than Arsenal lack of business. Now, could it be a case of Arsenal likes a dramatic effect? like to be in the mix, not for the right reasons, right? Not the drama of a parade and winning the trophy and all this other shit, but the dramatic effect of deadline day madness, right? Because the deadline day madness, Arsenal were all over the news with Sterling. Because let's remember, we're not going to change the narrative. We're going to keep history consistent. Edu came out and said there were no plans to sign Sterling, but the opportunity presented itself. So what does that tell us? That tells us that he was comfortable going into a third season challenging Man City, with only signing Calafiori and Mikel Merino. Arteta thought, all these men thought, the decision makers at the club thought that was enough to bridge the gap on that Manchester City machine. And boy, were we wrong, or they wrong. Yep. Gallus, Yara, check. William Havertz, William twice. Jorginho. Yeah, so let's stretch that out a little bit. Now you add Jackson, you add Nkunku, and you add Madueke. And now you know how we call Fulham baby Arsenal, because they got Iwobi and Leno and Smith Rowe and Reese. We are now baby Chelsea. Baby Chelsea, baby. Chelsea trash. Thing is, we should have gotten Nkunku when Emery wanted him, apparently. Oh, Jesus. Oh Jesus! So when people try to tell that Blue Magic, yep, that Blue Magic, Nicky Barnes and that. Yeah. The thing with Nkunku is, so people cannot tell me that the Premier League that there's not Bundesliga tax. Cannot. We can shit on the Portuguese La Liga all we want and say Gyökeres wouldn't score 39 goals in the Premier League. I agree. Who the hell is gonna? No one scores that in the Premier League. Haaland didn't. None of these men will. But we're not asking for that. We're asking for 18. And I think he can get that. But where it goes off the rails for me is when they pretend that there's not Bundesliga tax as well. There is Bundesliga tax because I have seen Kai Havertz bang in that league. I've seen Nkunku bang in that league. Timo Werner bang in that league. And I'm meant to think that Sesko, who mustered up 13 goals, is supposed to break the mold. Nah, I'm not buying it. Big up to Darren Martin, but BF Gunner, Evan Nilsson, and Clyburn only had purple patches this season. They are not title-winning signings. But one of them could be Ardelap. I'm thinking one of them could be Ardelap. Backup, plays in the Cups and all that. Mateta and these men. I don't think these are title-winning signings. I agree. But what we do know is that what we do have on our books aren't title winning signings either, between Jesus and Donkey Kai. Sounds like he's been hooked to a dope dealer, a hope dealer. I was in a hope dealer shop in 2023, 2024. I was fully in the hope dealer shop. Especially when going into the season with expectations for the first time in a long time in the 2023-24 season. Yeah, I was hopeful that we could do something. After signing Declan and the Havertz one was just a buzzkill. But we did close the gap within 2 points, which angered me in the 2024 season, going into the 24-25 season, not doing enough to close the gap. And this is transfer window number 12 for Arteta, people. He did get the January 2020 transfer window. So we're counting that. So he's had 6 January windows, and this is his 6th summer window. And in that time, he has signed 7 goalkeepers and 2 strikers, if you want to call them strikers. 1 really, because he said Havertz was signed as a midfielder. Blunderman always selling strikers and keeping Nketiah. Fuck me. Yeah. I forgot about this. Begged him to stay, and gave him TT's number. That shirt was burning his back. He couldn't function. When he had strikers, he couldn't win trophies. So many questions. He hasn't changed. So how is he going to do this? Wake up, Arsenal fan base. Like E-Raw said up top, the assembled. Hope pills. Hope dope. Opium. Big up every time Darren in the assemble, says E-Ross. Bluntetta. Yeah, bro. Man he's a parasite. He is a parasite sucking the very life out the club. Arsenal Football Club, the host. Arteta is the parasite, along with his crunkies. Cronkies and his clunkies. Big up Rose, E. Ross. Mr. Batter said, when does the squad return to Arsenal for the closed door preseason? Yep. I heard 8 July. So 7th, 8th July on around there. So in 5 days. In 5 days, Mr. Batter, and we have announced 1 goalkeeper. With any effects, ain't winning shit. Yep. Gonna have KG and what's the dude's name? Expressions. KG and Expressions will get to make a whole new remix to the song that they made after 2024 season failure. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah. 20 years ain't winning shit. Yeah, we're just about to be dead banter out here. And now the title is gone. Yep, we are dead food out here. Dead food. Yeah, man. Arteta sold Balogun and kept Ketia. Jesus for 45 mil offered, received 45 million offer was received from Brazil. He made this shit himself, bro. There is Underman is probably the most appropriate title we can give him because he has committed so many blunderous, sackable offenses in our attack. We are Arsenal. We're known for good football, and he's taken that away from us. When we weren't winning titles, we were known as the club that played beautiful football. Now we're not winning anything, and he has taken that away from us. Sackable. Yeah, hey, bro, that man had that. That man went to a for real studio. Pro level, 1,000 max. What that man were hitting us with. Yeah? Absolute madness. Now, I'm scrolling through FootMob this morning after I got last night, I'm scrolling through FootMob to get some talking points in my head before I came on today's stream. And I go on everyone else, Chelsea, everyone else, it scrolls down, right? All the big six, it scrolls down. I go on Liverpool stuff, that was before the bad news, it's serious business. I go on Chelsea's, it's serious business. When I get to Arsenal, it's winger completes free transfer after Arsenal deal expires. You know what the winger they're talking about? Butch Letterdeji. And then the other one is match of the day for the women's team. Cool. And then it's former gunner signs for Saudi. You know the former gunner they're talking about? Lacazette. And then another Gyökeres story, the 1,500th Gyökeres story of the season. No serious transfer business. Now, if you're Arsenal, the Jota news is tragic, it's sad, but that's Liverpool business. You're an Arsenal Football Club. You still have a fan base to appease. And like Mr. Barrett says, July 7th, July 8th, preseason start. That's in 5 days. Liverpool have already done their business. Liverpool won the league, and Liverpool damn near out here won or winning the transfer window. And here you are. It's a soap opera. It's 3 hours, it's Gyökeres. 3 hours later, it's Sesko. Let's not forget, people. On his outbrief, he sat there at the damn podium and he said, everything is done. Decisions already been made. We've talked to who we need to talk to. And just thinking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. What's kept a part of the goosebumps? Zubimendi still hasn't been announced. And Kunku. Madueke. Well, this is a part of the goosebump settings. Because I'm not hearing it. I'm not feeling it. Anyone? Is there anyone that's going to press him on this at the next press conference? Anyone? He needs to be asked those questions. Absolutely. Blunderman will be linked to Real Madrid and PSG this year, a blatant lie just to ensure another contract, and yet another salvo of untruth, and the majority of the fan base will be happy to swallow. So you see the assembled. I don't think he will ever be linked to the Real Madrid job. Maybe PSG because he played there, and someone said, I think it was Rich that said he thinks Enrique might be the city manager. There might be an opening at PSG. I hear it, but from the history that I've known and I've learned and I've read, it's Arteta is a Catalonian nationalist, and he will never manage Real Madrid, and that is a real thing. I didn't even know it was a real thing until once I started to frequent Europe, started to go to Spain on a frequent basis. That political faction of the country, it is real. It's a real thing. Like when you go to Barcelona, which I'm sure that many of you in the chat have been. When you go to Barcelona, you go to a restaurant. In the touristy areas, the menu is listed in 3 languages. It's listed in Spanish, obviously because it's in Spain. It's listed in English for most of the tourists, and it's listed in Catalan or Catalonian. Like, it's a real thing. They consider themselves a completely different part of Spain. So for that reason, if Arteta is a Catalonian nationalist, I don't think he will ever be accepted at Madrid. Ever. But he can go. They can have him. They can have him. Big up to Harvey22 from Turkey. Tell us that you are well, sir. Please tell us that you are well. Hope that you are. Many of us aren't. Prayers to the Jota family. Many Liverpool fans aren't doing too well today. They are hurting. And for our Liverpool brothers and sisters, we hurt as well. And I said at the beginning of the stream, for a small channel, the representation that I get amongst the Liverpool fan base in here is pretty good, and I appreciate it. Men like Mr. Battered, men like RSV, LFC Monster, Scants, big up to these, man. Make sure you reach out to them, if you know these people, personally, and make sure that they're okay. This is big. This is like when Laker fans lost Kobe. But this might be even tougher because Kobe had retired. Kobe had retired from basketball and had his legacy cemented. He was 40-something. Still young. Jota was 28. 28, people. We were still in our prime. Kicking and killing. 28. Way too young, man. Big up to Mr. Robo. Mr. Robo in the building, people. We apologize for not being able to get the content done last week, but we are working on something. Schedule and conflicts. We have deconflicted most of it, and it will probably be this Saturday. Mr. Robo and I will be live doing some content where we were talking about Berta, and just how his impact, if any, his strategy. We're going to go over some of the facts and assumptions of the transfer window so far. Season's expectations and all this, plus anything else that you legends in the chat want to get across. So big up to Mr. Robo and his brother. Yes, and his brother, his wife, his entire family, man. Condolences to him. Five man bouncing in the background. Yeah, man. That's Agent Saska Assassin. Mix up. I'm pretty sure you picked it up. I can't play. I had to tune it on my mixer to get some of it out so I don't get a copyright strike. But music calms me down, man. It really does. And it's a big part of what I do. Big up to Darren. City out of the Club World Cup. Blessing in disguise for him. I can hear that. Major problems for the rest of us. I hear that. Because they will be in bang on preseason, damn near done all their business. And the way they went out, DSL, Mr. Baxter, the way they went out was kind of an embarrassment. So now they have to save face. So City, I look for City for a blistering start. And that's what I was asking Rich. Like, do you think Arteta actually survives a slow start? I think Liverpool will come out the gate flying. I think City will come out the gate flying. We can't afford that. We don't have the luxury of chasing anybody down. So we have to come out the gate flying. So a slow start should spell the end of Arteta. The managers are his mates. I hear it. Mr. Better, yeah. Because they will already know which of their signings to deploy best where. Yeah. Essentially, they had part of their preseason last year when they were out the title race and pretty much out of the Champions League, out of the title race, and they did focus on the FA Cup a little bit, but they essentially went out and got Marmouche. They have figured that out, right? So all the stuff that they were doing right now, this man know how that man like to receive the ball, 1-2 triangle, all this stuff that footballers have to work out, all the nuances, all the stuff that Liverpool is doing on the pitch right now, right? Versus on the pitch with Mo Salah knowing how he likes to receive the ball and all this other stuff. While we're exploring options, exploring possibilities. No man is on the pitch. We're already behind and we are falling further behind. You cannot afford a slow start against Usain Bolt. I mean, at full sprint, lining up for second. Right? You can't afford a slow start because even if he trips, he still has the recovery speed to catch you. Oh, man. London man setting new political ground. More records nobody wants. He's a professional at that. As we all know, he's just a lovable guy. According to Rebecca Lowe is one of the nicest journalists I've ever known. She is so professional, has nothing bad to say about anyone. And I heard her call Arteta an arrogant prick. If one of the nicest journalists I've ever known never speaks ill of anyone, calls you an arrogant prick, I'm inclined to believe you're an arrogant prick. Mr. E. Ross and Mr. Robo bigging up one another. There it is, people. Mr. Robo's link. Make sure you subscribe to Mr. Robo 19. So ready for Saturday. Arteta out. Yep. Like Yardman says. Speaking of Yardman, Darren Martin, big up BBK Sport. I know it's Saska, man. Yardman thing. That's that. Yardman, I rush them like a pit bull. Mixed with a ratty. Rush them like a rifle. Mixed with a shotty. Enough of them. Love they watch it. Mr. Robo said, by the way, BBK might be Latvian Gouda by Saturday. Thinking of rebranding a bit. We'll keep you updated. Hey. Just know that we were here from you were Mr. Robo. Yeah, when you become Latvian Gooner, and when Arsenal win the league 10 years from now, and Sky Sports is, look at Arsenal global brand, the Latvia touch. Welcome to Sky Sports, the Latvian Gooner. We'll be in the comment section like, nah, we knew that motherfucker from he was Mr. Robo. It was Latvian Gooner, it was a rebrand. It's Mr. Robo 19, but we were back here putting in some work in the YouTube spaces. Mr. Robo, Latvia Gooner. It bangs though. It bangs. It bangs. I fuck with it. Speaking of journalists, which of the U.S. network has the best football coverage? ESPN. Nah. You mean our football? You don't mean NFL, right? You mean football. I don't want to say the best because they're all shit. They're bad. Like they're so bad. ESPN actually has acknowledged it, and they have ESPN FC, ESPN UK. But the ESPN FC, I'm not sure how much of it you can take because it's Stevie Nicol and Craig Burnley and Alejandro something, this Venezuelan goalkeeper, and Shaka Islam. You know, the panel isn't great, but bro, I'm gonna be honest. There is not one ESPN football show or network subsidiary that can sit down and consume their content. Right? I would recommend a YouTube channel, but it would sound like I'm gloating, but they're bad. They're bad, bro. It's NFL is king. NFL rules. They're trying to. That's why they're playing games in the UK because they're hoping that UMan will catch on to it. They started bringing NFL to Germany and playing in the islands arena when I was there, trying to expand the game. Meanwhile, they watch football, our football, growing and growing and growing. I missed the bat that I wish I could give you a better answer, bro. But ESPN and our football is oil and water. It don't mix. And that's why I think, Darren Martin says, like Paramount and all these other networks, the Zone and all, are able to buy the rights to football because ESPN are that bad. They are absolute ass. 10 years from now, that's how optimistic. Yeah, bro. 10 years from now. That's how far Arteta's going to set us back. It's going to be 10 years before we win. We knew him from Mr. Robo. If you know, you know. Yep, he will always be Mr. Robo to us, the Latvian Guna. But it bangs, though. It bangs. I'm not going to lie. It bangs. Mr. Robo says, rebranding, he just means he's hiding his billions from the taxman. Down in the Cayman Islands, the offshore accounts. Yeah, Mr. Robo. We don't think it's no coincidence, you know. Man is running ads now. Man hit the watch hours, and all of a sudden he wants to read. Hey, we're on to you, Mr. Robo. We're on to you. E-Ross said ESPN is terrible. Yeah, it's bad. It is not worth listening to. You will be listening to. It's like listening to. I don't want to. No, that's probably a bad analogy. I would say it's almost like listening to your subordinates, but that's not a good analogy because you have to, right? If you're in a position of management, because sometimes the best ideas comes from down below or within. What I'm trying to get to is ESPN. You in this chat know more football than them, man. They could learn something from you. They can't tell you anything. It's like listening to Captain Obvious. Someone will tell you that this is a cup, and that I'm talking to you on StreamYard or YouTube. Like that's basically regurgitating stuff that you know. There's no analysis. There's no logical statements being backed up by facts, data, statistics. No history behind it. It's just dead, man. They're worse than TalkSport. At least the TalkSport, man, they know how to kick ball, play ball. Here it's just NFL, NBA, right? And that's one of the reasons why this channel was even able to get off the ground, because people who my NBA Wednesday show is one of my most popular shows. But the people who watch my basketball content don't watch this. And when they do, they see that I speak it fluently on both sides. Right? But it's NBA, baseball, and it's NFL. It'll be in the 10 years time when we see Mr. Robo on Sky Sports as Latvian Gunnar, in about 10 years time, ESPN may just get a little better. Just about why you snitching, Tekashi. Yep, Tekashi out here telling on everybody. We telling on Mr. Robo. You about to be extorted, bro. You about to be extorted. You about to have to pay your Diddy tax. You know, Diddy stopped paying, and all of a sudden he got hit with charges. You know, R. Kelly stopped paying, then he got hit with charges. You have to pay. Harvey Weinstein stopped paying, got hit with charges. Oprah still paying. Jay-Z still paying. The minute they stop paying, they get hit with charges. Just watch. Just pay the money, bro. Pay the money. Pay your tax. You're being taxed. Pay it. Good evening, BBK. Big up, Hendo, and all watching late to the stream. It's been a busy afternoon here in London. Yeah, man. Busy on Sky Sports too, my bro. The stream has gotten a little more lighter and a little more upbeat now, but it did start off kind of somber. You know, I had a moment of silence at the beginning of, you know, Diogo. I didn't put it in the thumbnail because there are enough and quite a few Liverpool content creators in the spaces. I will leave that too, you know. But we are football fans, and we're all affected by it because we all support each other. Mr. Bat, as long as you are watching one with British commentators, American pundits are shit. They're ass and cheeks, bro. Ass and cheeks. Big up to my brother Jason Guna. Jason, like, if you're into the Gold Cup, people, first of all, if you're into football, you need to be over there. Gold Cup, CONCACAF, I swear one of the best watch-alongs you will ever see on TV. Like, he should be in the Hall of Fame of watch-alongs, was the Al Hilal and Man City watch-along the other day. You can get that content over there. Jason Gunnar, good youth, Yardman, Arsenal fan, makes great content. Not a top Gunnar, you know, not as toxic and negative like I am, but he's not a top Gunnar. He's very, very fair in the space. Give credit when credit's due, but he's, you know, does great content. Well, the Arsenal. BBK, thank you for the chat, man. Let me jump on the channel. Everyone, big up in the chat. An open book, bro. An open book. You know, it's just a platform for me to talk football with people. You know, I'm give back to all the love that I get, bro. To me, it's Big Meeks, Big Meeks, Henri Carragher, Kate Abdo. Yeah, it's a weird mix of personality. You know, it's kind of like the Big Six. You know, like individually, you look at these men and you'd be like, bro, but together, they actually cook. They actually cook. Big Meeks and Kate. I think Kate speaks like 500 languages, you know. You know, I struggle to speak 3. I think she speaks French, German, English, Spanish. You know, I'm glad I was immersed in Germany and I was able to pick up enough German to communicate. I've learned like certain parts of Germany, like Bavaria German, and Leipzig German, and Berlin German, and Hamburg German, completely different German. It's kind of like Puerto Rican Spanish versus Mexican Spanish versus actually Spain Spanish. Completely different lingo. E-Ross. Yeah, CBS and Paramount, they're all over there. Get them steps in. Yeah, man, Rich was putting in some serious work. Some serious work. Big up, Rich. Yeah, man, appreciate you hopping on, Rich. Man. Appreciate you. Mr. Bassett, I'm in the midst of a move to the U.S. so wanted to find out. I was like, YouTube is king. Yeah, even the networks have realized that the fan experience on YouTube isn't going away because the fans actually know ball. Like, we've played this game and we've followed it for as long, if not longer than them. You know? So, yeah, man. What part of the US you moving to, bro? Let me know, man. Let me know. I can be of any assistance. I have lived everywhere across these United States. Northeast, Midwest, South, Pacific Northwest, all over. Like, this house that I just moved into on Tuesday is probably my 15th home since I left home. You know, I've moved all over, so I know the bits. Robo with the shell companies. Yeah, man. Robo out here with the oil money. The oil money assembled. I can't run out of superlatives for Blunderman. You can't even give him respect. Just leave. He's going to try to win big, then leave on a high. I'm trying to do a thanks Sinatra. I did it my way. That's the thing, the assembled. He's trying to win his way to the detriment of the club, right? Because I believe, right, if we gave Arteta, if the football gods came out of the blue right now and gave Mr. Arteta the two options, say, Arteta, I give you 100% chance of winning the Carabao or the FA Cup next year. 100% chance. All you have to do is drop Kai Havertz and drop Odegaard, and you're guaranteed EFL Cup or the FA Cup. That's option one. Now, option two, Arteta, I give you a 60% chance of winning the Premier League, but you get to do it your own way. Which one do you choose, Master? Which one do you choose, Blunderman? Do you choose the 60% chance your way, or the 100% chance football where you remove Odegaard and you remove Kai Havertz, the two people that you refuse to drop out your squad? I'm inclined to believe Blunderman will say, you know what? Nope. I want to take my 60% chance, and I want to win it my way. Just like the assembly said. Because he must win his way. You know? On Sky Sports, you mad? You will be on there, man. You will be on there. I need to come in on NBA. Hey, man. NBA Wednesday. So we close the season. Now I'm seeing a lot of. Might have to do an odd episode here and there. I usually do it on Wednesdays just to cover some of the free agency madness. You know, Ayton to the Lakers. The Atlanta Hawks are making some mad moves right now. The Knicks hired a head coach. Underwhelming. My New York Knicks. Yeah, so yeah, there's some news that I might have to get into on the NBA front. My cursor moving mad here. Can't even get to my comments. 1 second, people. Because I will not skip any. What the hell's going on here? Okay, bang, bang. Got that one. Need NBA stuff as well. Yeah, bro. I can be the basketball encyclopedia. There's Jason Gunner's link, people. Big up to him. E-Ross, just like Kate's about it. Yeah, Kate and TT, man, look how they have a little, unwritten love story going on. So speaking to Deutsch. Ah, okay. The Robo. We get. What's good? Big up to Mr. Robo. Go Cooper 12. Big up to you, bro. Hoping you are well. Hoping you are good, my bro. Moving like Ibra, bro. Yeah, I'm a journeyman. I'm all over the place. I am all over the gaff, my bro. All over. Mr. Batter said, my wife and I moving to Houston. I will definitely shot, bro. Houston is the finesse capital of the world, you know. Thank goodness you say you're married already. Yeah, Houston is a bad town. Traffic, though. Yeah, Houston traffic. Like, it's typically you don't get that bad traffic as if you're in New York or LA or I-5 and shit like that. But Houston, the city has exploded so much over the years that the traffic has gotten crazy bad. How about we sell Havertz? We can't. His contract is very economically attractive. Another sackable offense. He has 3 years left. He's out of form. He's never scored 20 Premier League goals in his life. And he's on £280 a week. Unsellable. That contract has crippled the club. Because now what happens if you sign a 20-goal a season striker? He's going to ask for 20-goal a season striker money. And if Havertz is on 280, what's 20-goal a season striker? It has to be north of 300. So we have shot ourselves in the foot with that contract. How are things in Virginia? VA should be hot as hell in Virginia right now. Hot as hell. I don't know what part of Via you at, Cooper? Oh no, he's asking Hendo. Okay. I mean, you lost. Yeah, I lived in Virginia too, bro. Lived in Virginia too. Good old Colonial Heights. Big up. According to Arteta sexuals journalist Tom Canton, yeah, he's a faithful Arteta lover. Havertz is the most fucking hell, man. It hurts my tongue just to even try to read that shit. The most effective striker in Europe. Effective. And I'm sure, Endo, I'm sure they have some kind of metric to justify this bullshit. Because I've seen Arsenal fans come up with metrics to make when they ran a metric. It was tackled or dribbled by or whatever. They ran a metric one time that showed or corroborated and supported that Mustafi was better than Van Dijk. That's what you can use stats to manipulate numbers to tell any kind of story you want, But that's what they do. That's what they do. And I always go back to when I used to work for this company called Singular that used to lie to people and tell them. But they didn't lie to them. They used to tell people we get 5 million new customers a year. No, we get 3 million new customers a year. But they weren't telling people that they lose 5 million customers a year. So it was a net negative. But you can't run that. So the statement that they were using that we gained 3 million new customers a year was a factual statement. Manipulated the numbers to tell the story you wanted to tell. But they didn't tell the whole story. Now they're out of business. Go figure. Go figure. They can only talk about his off the ball work. Yep. And the same thing with Martinelli. Is that when you have to come up with off the ball work, anything other than GA for a striker is usually shit. Ja, ich spreche Deutsch mit mal durch nichts man spricht. Oh, okay. Mr. Robo. Okay. On it's mainly. Okay. Got you, Mr. Robo. So when I just got to Germany, my son, I threw him in German school. He was our translator when I used to travel throughout Europe, like when I traveled to Switzerland and Austria. But yeah, big up to you, bro. Big up to you, man. It's not uncommon to be in Europe and you meet like little kids that are 16 and 17 and they speak 4 or 5 languages. There's a running joke in Germany when I was there. It's throughout the rest of Europe as well. It's like, how do you tell an American? And I'm like, how? They only speak 1 language, and everyone cracks up at it. You know them ones. And my first time in Munich. Right in the middle of COVID, you get bored of COVID, and you want to go out. And I'm at a restaurant in Munich, and I didn't speak any German at the time, none of it, didn't know any of it. I was talking to this guy, and he's speaking German to me. I'm speaking English to him, and then I started yelling Spanish to him because he was pissing me off. And then you know what he did? He started speaking in Spanish back to me, and we became friends. That's just how mad it is. Upstate, Saratoga Springs. Okay. Big up to you. Furthest I've ever been upstate was my brother used to play for Rockland Community College up there, but I've never had Syracuse side. Poughkeepsie, never been up there. Big up to man like Cooper. Anybody held up an Arsenal shirt today? Yeah, I'm about to go up to my boxes upstairs with the movers and pull out my own kit and hold it up, and I'm gonna Photoshop it and drop it on the Arsenal website. XD, the donkeys. Oh my God! I don't smoke today. Trophies, I have no clue. The fans are mad. Dennis too. I've got no chance. Odegaard and Havertz are my glue. Hey people, the assembled has won comment of the day with this one. Oh my God. I'm gonna read this again. Trophies, I have no clue. Fans are mad. Stan is too. I have no chance of Odegaard and Havertz. They are my glue. I get sacked with it. Do it all. I did it my way. Oh man, that is class. That is class from the assembled. Diversity in Houston is insane. I work in the energy sector for my day job, and my wife is in the medical field. Houston is an easy fit for us, and worse our cost of living. Yeah, Houston is it's great, bro. Yeah, so Houston is a massive city. You know, we talk about big cities in the United States, and people usually, hey, New York, LA, Boston, Miami. Like Houston, I think Houston is the third biggest city in the states, like compared population wise. I think it's New York, LA, and Houston. It might be fifth, but it's in the top 5 for the biggest cities in America. Houston is massive. So yeah, you're gonna love it there, bro. Excuses for Havertz and Martinelli. Yep, and Odegaard. Yep. Mr. Brother, is your company transferring over to the US? You'll miss that awful Singaporean cuisine. But yeah, it's very diverse. You will find a lot of Asian food. Maybe not the Singaporean classic, but yeah, it's one of the things where you miss the culture. You know, the culture, the music, and the sports. You know, the sports, music, and the food is how you embrace a culture, really. Yeah, by age 10, I speak 4 languages. Very common. Yeah, man. Those little hop on, hop off tour buses. I used to go on my tours in Budapest. The little kids spoke Hungarian, Portuguese, Italian, Romanian. I was like, mad one. Florida's nice too. I should be moving there soon myself. Stay away from them damn alligators. There's alligators down in southern Florida ringing people's doorbells and shit. You know, because it's so hot outside. They're trying to get inside. Low taxes, no state taxes in the state of Florida. Yeah. Wow, Mr. Robo, 50 in the UK are exposed to so many languages. Our education system sucks when it comes to teaching other languages from young. Yeah, that's because the English-speaking countries think they own the goddamn world. Right? The USA, Canada, well, shit, even Canada speaks 2 languages. They have a heavy French. The French is one of the official languages of Canada. But the US and the UK, languages isn't our thing. Only language they used to push in schools was Spanish. But I learned enough Spanish from when I was in Jamaica, because the Americas and Cuba right there and all the South Americas, the Central American countries that we do commerce with, Spanish speaking. So we were heavily immersed in Spanish back in Jamaica. So yeah, once I started hanging around more Spanish people, they were shocked when I spoke Spanish to them. Yes, sir. Keep us a peace and love to everyone, always, my bro. Endo, I'm joining a different outfit, definitely with Mr. Cuisine in Singapore, but they have Longhorns, Tex-Mex, hook 'em. Yeah, man, that Texas barbecue gonna get you fat, Mr. Batter. Gonna get you big. Singapore cuisine, you mean food, right, or something else? Hey, Darren, go easy, my brother. Good luck with it all. Yeah, man. Big up to him, man. Big up to him. The Latvia used to be in the middle of the Germany and the USSR and Soviet Union during World War II, and it stuck with us. Half my childhood I spoke only Latvian or Russian. Until I learned Deutsch. Yeah, I didn't know how many people in the world spoke German. Because I didn't. The American system has failed us, isn't it? Because I didn't know that Austria's official language was German. And then half of Switzerland speaks German. People, Luxembourg, even Belgium, certain parts of it that borders Germany speaks fluent German as well. That's a mad one. Singaporean food is good. Hey, I haven't had to try that. The best food I got in Europe when I lived in Europe was Greek. And Greek food was off the chain. Mr. Robo would make a fantastic here as a translator. Yeah, you could work at the UN, bruv. You could be at the UN Secretary General. US in general, I think they're champions of the world as soon as they are winning anything. So when I used to tour Europe, and I used to go to the big cities that people frequent, Milan, Budapest, Prague. Like you can tell the Americans, they stand out so much. Like they're not very respectful of other people's cultures. They're loud. And they're speaking English to someone who doesn't speak English. Instead of empathizing with it, they just try to speak English slower, like they're supposed to understand because you're speaking it slower. Big up to Tony. Sad day for all of football. Diego and Andre are taken away too early. Absolute tragedy, bro. Absolute tragedy. But what we're gonna do What we're going to do is we're going to celebrate their life because their families are going to mourn. Their families are going to miss them. We didn't know them personally. We know them through the football. So we're going to celebrate their legacy as footballers, or Diogo as a footballer. And there was no slander. Even the Man United faithful could not take away from Jota's quality, his tech, and his goals. Just his sheer goals per minute ratio was just absolute fast. And they're good enough for myself. Started learning Spanish and have French, but didn't have enough time. Used to be private tutor for English, math, and chemistry. Man, Robo is this. Robo should be a damn a damn engineer or something with that kind of brain. Can't win football though. They will never. Darren says they will never. Americans will never win in football because America is the only country in the world you have to pay to play football. So you eliminate half the talent, not even half, just a huge portion of it. In Germany, if your kid is good and they sign for like the Leipzig Academy, they pay you, the parent. And they put the kid in the academy and they get tutoring and they learn all those languages. And they learn professional football, how to deal with media. They learn all their math and all this other stuff. And they're in an academy and they're kicking ball, learning the fundamentals 3 to 4 hours a day. The American, you need 15,000 to put your kid into academy. We'll never. Only kids that come from 3-car garages can afford to play soccer in these United States. And they are miles behind the kids. Miles behind. And though a lot of my European friends said that it was easier for them to learn English due to music, movies, TV books, and the popular culture predominantly in English based. Yeah. But I don't think I could learn German without being there. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like the lady around the corner said, one of the best ways to learn German is pick up the newspaper. Pick up a newspaper and read it every day. And interact with the people. Do the simple stuff like when you go to the grocery store, don't click English, click actual German and read it. And over time, it will start to make sense to you. And so said, so done. I started to understand the announcements in the trains, and the Hauptbahnhof and the Flughafen and stuff. The airport and the main train station. I started to understand it. I hear it and I can read it better than I can speak it. But I do know what the hell they're saying. English is the universal language of business. It is the universal language of people. But yeah, it's absolutely true. I saw your Jota video this morning. Tony Hammer, very sad, knocked the wind out of me today. Not gonna lie. By the way, is your work based in the South End Airport? Tell us what it is. Tell us what it is, Hendo. Study the university for my chemistry. Yeah. Robo can mix up all kind of concoctions in multiple languages. Mr. Robo needs to move to Hollywood. And the Gunner, it shocked me. I thought it was a joke until Moopos came in. Yeah, because you never know, innit? You never know in modern times that people be making all kind of jokes and, all kind of dead pranks. And this generation, they have no decorum. They take things too far sometimes. Absolutely, man. Devastated with the news, but consolation has been seeing the football community come together. Painful nonetheless. Yeah, 100%. 100%, dude is a whole genius. Yeah, bro. Dude is a whole genius. Whole genius. English, a little bit of German, Spanish, and Patois. So 3.5. 3.5 languages. Now I want to go back to Europe. Because being able to speak multiple languages is a beautiful thing, no doubt. Mr. Batter, the great thing is that the football community, regardless of our clubs, in moments like this is needed to bring us together. Sad 28, married 10 days, leaves go. It's a crazy one, man. But yeah, the football community, it humanizes us, isn't it? And it proves that, all the banter and all the shit that we talk amongst each other during the season, especially during the games, it's all tribalism, and we can shut that off. Shut that off and come back together in it. It's very organic chemistry first lecture they showed us how to make. And Mr. Robo, it's not too late to delete that comment, What the blood clot. Yes, sir. Yes, that's the hill. That's the hill of a one to hit the last comment right there. To hit the last comment. Big up to every single one of us, man. Big up to every one of you that came through today. Executor, all football BS can be put in the trash, yeah. Especially today. And this year, when Liverpool and United play, it should be, it should be calm. Because I remember when CR7 lost his child back in the day, and they went to Anfield. The Anfield faithful stood up and cheered for him. They stood up and cheered for him. So, yes, it can be done. And the football world will continue to show that we are human. And we can humanize everything. Sponsored by a Mexican drug cartel. It's a mad one. But people, we're almost coming up on 2 hours. I'm getting better, but I still have to go do my ACL treatment. I got some exercises, some home exercises that I have to do in lieu of my physical therapy and all that other stuff. But thank you to every single one of you that came through here today. I am grateful that you made time with all the craziness that went on today. We will also go out on a not really a high note, but condolences again to the Jota family. 28 years old, Premier League champion, FA Cup champion, two I should say EFL Cup, there's ELF Cup, and a Nations League champion. Take care to all in the chat. Prayers to the Jota family. And like I always say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.